There lived a young man named Daniel who spent years waiting for the perfect moment to change his life. Deep inside, he believed he was capable of something greater, yet every passing year only strengthened one dangerous habit waiting. Daniel always had a reason. He would start a business when he had enough money. He would apply for better jobs when he earned another certificate. He would write his book when he had more free time. He would begin exercising when life became less stressful. Every dream was pushed into tomorrow. One evening, after another long day at work, Daniel met an elderly shoe repairer outside a busy train station. The old man smiled as he carefully polished a customer's worn-out shoes. "You seem troubled," the old man said. Daniel laughed softly. "I just feel like my life hasn't started yet." The old man looked at him with curious eyes. "How old are you?" 32. "And when exactly do you think your life begins?" Daniel had no answer. That simple question followed him home. Days turned into weeks, but nothing changed. Instead of acting, Daniel continued planning. He watched motivational videos. He bought notebooks filled with business ideas. He read books about successful people. Yet every notebook remained unfinished. Every idea stayed inside his head. One Saturday morning, his younger cousin Sarah visited him. She had recently started selling homemade pastries from a tiny table outside her apartment. "It's not much," she admitted with a smile, "but I had to start somewhere." Daniel almost laughed. "A table? Don't you think you should wait until you can afford a proper shop?" Sarah shook her head. "If I waited for a shop, I'd still be dreaming." Her words lingered longer than she realized. Months later, Daniel visited Sarah again. The tiny table had become a small bakery. Customers formed a short queue outside. Nothing about the bakery was luxurious, but it was real. Watching people happily buy her pastries stirred something inside him. That evening, Daniel stood in front of his bedroom mirror. He realized he wasn't afraid of failure. He was afraid of beginning imperfectly. The next morning, instead of creating another plan, he took one small action. He listed the old camera he no longer used online. The money wasn't much. With it, he bought basic materials to produce handcrafted wooden phone stands, an idea he had postponed for nearly 4 years. His first products were far from perfect. Some had rough edges, others leaned slightly. His first week brought only 2 sales. One customer even left a disappointing review. For a moment, the familiar voice returned. "Maybe you should stop." But this time, Daniel did something different. Instead of quitting, he asked the customer what could be improved. The feedback was honest. He listened. He learned. He adjusted. Each weekend, his products became better. 2 sales became 10. 10 became 50. Soon, local gift shops began placing small orders. The business didn't explode overnight. There were slow months, unexpected expenses, mistakes, days of doubt. Yet something remarkable had changed. Daniel no longer measured success by how quickly he grew. He measured it by whether he kept moving. One afternoon, while packing another shipment, he found the notebook filled with all the plans he had once made. Thousands of words, hundreds of ideas, years of preparation. He smiled and gently closed it. The pages had never changed his life. The first imperfect step had. Several years later, Daniel spoke to a group of young entrepreneurs. One student asked him the question he had once asked himself. "When did you know you were finally ready?" Daniel smiled. "I wasn't." The room became silent. "I simply became tired of watching time move while I stood still." The audience nodded, not because his answer was extraordinary, but because it was true. Life rarely announces the perfect moment. Confidence often arrives after the first step, not before it. Dreams do not grow because we wait for certainty. They grow because we begin despite uncertainty. And sometimes, the smallest imperfect action becomes the turning point that changes everything. What lesson did you learn from this story? Share your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed this story, please like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell for more inspirational stories every week. Leave a comment below and share this video with someone who needs this message. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next story.